I'm here. Alright, so 10 meters. 10 meters across. The largest very high frequency VHF, MTV, or FM TV, line of sight communications, land mobile, and maritime mobile communications is about 10 meters across. Now the largest of the radio wavelengths is about this much across. About 3 meters across. And then the smallest of the wavelengths, 87.5, is about 4 meters across, so it's a little bit bigger. There's the range of radio frequency right here, this one and this one. So it's about as big as like a big animal. So walking around a building or around an animal or something could get you that's why that could get you a better radio frequency. Okay. Smallest brain waves, the gamma rays, are about 3.43 meters, and those are your regular cognitive and motor functions. And so that's about the size of a radio frequency. It's about halfway between 87.5 and 108 hertz. So radio frequencies and your brainwave frequencies are the same frequencies. Makes you wonder about telepathy, doesn't it? Okay. So let's go have a look. This is a giraffe. Now when I have these animals here, these are the largest of the animals, okay? Not your average giraffe. This is like the biggest giraffe ever. It's about that big, next to your biggest woolly mammoth ever, and his little baby. So woolly mammoths were big, as tall as a giraffe. Okay, so here's the sizes of animals next to each other. The largest bird is the condor. And that's how big it is next to the golden eagle, which is the largest of the predatory birds. And then the turkey vulture is right there. That's the largest vulture in America. Condor is only in South America, so it's much bigger than the golden eagle. Now here's a lion versus a tiger. Tigers are a little bit bigger than lions. But look how big the largest saber-toothed tigers were. Much larger than your modern-day lion and tiger. Your average saber-toothed tiger back from the Ice Age, is about the same size as a lion and a tiger. But they have found some that are this big, which are about as big as your Clydesdale horse. Look at the size of that saber-tooth, as big as a Clydesdale horse. Now that's the largest, that particular Clydesdale is the largest Clydesdale horse ever. I can't remember what his name is. But there's the biggest of the African elephant. Next to the biggest Clydesdale horse, largest saber-toothed tiger, and your average lion and tiger, or the largest of the lions and tigers. So elephants are much larger than lions and tigers. Now there's the largest crocodile ever found, much larger than a lion or a tiger, and even a saber-toothed tiger, and even a Clydesdale horse, approaching the size of an elephant. That was scary, very scary. Largest crocodile ever found. There's the largest anaconda ever found, next to a lion and a tiger. The largest anaconda ever found could definitely put up a good fight against a tiger and probably eat a lion. Or maybe. Pretty scary. Okay. People. Look at this. This is how big people are compared to these animals. Pygmies in South Africa. Or in Africa. Men are 4'8", women are 4'6". Here's the 1600s. Men were 5'6", women were 5'5". So us in the 1600s were a lot bigger than pygmies of today. But the Dutch today are even bigger. The average Dutch man is not 6'5". I should have put 6'3". He's about 6'3". Or 6'5". The average Dutch man is 6'5". I'm gonna have to get back with you on that. But the average Dutch woman is 5'7", so she's taller than the average Dutch man from the 1600s. The Dinka, the men are 6'3", and the women are 5'11". And the women don't have tops on. University centers, 6'10", 6'5". And here's the tallest man ever, next to the tallest woman ever. 8'11", 7'8", and there's Chewbacca next to them. He's 7'3". And here's all those big people next to each other. There's Waldo, the largest man ever. There's Andre the Giant down there, next to the largest woman up until a few years ago, Sandy Allen. Chewbacca. There's Jaws. There's some Brazilian lady. There's that Polish basketball player. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger and his daughter. There's me. Yeah. There's my car. There's my van. So Waldo, that dude, could look way down on my van. And there's computers and basketballs and stuff. And there's an average like woman right there. Okie dokie. So let's go to 100 meters. 100 meters across. There's my house I grew up in. With the front yard and the backyard. We had a river back there. So, largest high frequency radio wavelength, HF. Go 100 meters across. They're also called RFID. RFID tags, use the large ones because they can go around mountains and stuff like that. Smallest medium frequency wavelength is down here. We saw that in the field above. Gamma brain waves. Okay, so now you're getting into your subconscious brain waves, the slower moving brain waves. They get a lot larger. The brain waves we use to function as everyday motive functions are 3.43 meters to 11.43 meters. They're about this big to this big. But then, oh, I'm sorry, as we get more and more alert, the brain waves get bigger. So gamma are the small ones, which are the size of radio. Certain cognitive and motor functions like subconscious brain waves, autonomic nervous system brain waves, are the same size as radio brain waves. But the beta brain waves are 11.43 to 28.58 meters. So that's when you're alert, working, active, busy, anxious, thinking, active, concentration. Are a lot bigger, about as big as a house. And then your alpha brain waves, which are this big, 28.58 to 42.87 meters long, is when you're relaxed, reflecting, and closed with the eyes. So I guess certain basic cognitive function ones are the smallest, regular ones are the middle ones, and then the thinking, relaxed, are the larger ones. So I guess they get bigger, but anyways. Here's the largest great white ever found. There's the largest orca ever found. So the largest orca ever found is maybe a little bit smaller than the largest great white. Orcas are about the size of great whites. And there's the largest crocodile ever found next to an orca. Pretty much around the same size. There's the largest anaconda, there's a Clydesdale horse, and there's a Tyrannosaurus rex. Tyrannosaurus rex is not much bigger than the largest crocodile of today. They're still quite large. There is your average giraffe next to the Quetzalcoatlus. It was the largest flying animal ever, the largest pterodactyl. And there's the Quetzalcoatlus, the largest pterodactyl type dinosaur, next to an automobile standing up. It's about as big as a giraffe, a flying giraffe basically. About as big as a Tyrannosaurus rex, only skinnier. So, and here's all of the animals of today next to that. Condor, eagle, turkey vulture, lion and tiger, saber-toothed cat, elephant. An elephant is about the size of a Tyrannosaurus rex, maybe a little bit smaller. The mammoth is larger than an elephant, as you can see, but not that much bigger. Mammoth is basically just taller. And there's my car, so my car is about as big as an elephant. There's my car being attacked by a Tyrannosaurus rex. And there's my house, my other house that we grew up in, next to my car. So there's a Quetzalcoatlus perched on top of my house. Okay, now these are giants. Bones of actual giants found. So that's how big the giants of the olden times were, next to a Quetzalcoatlus, about as big as a Quetzalcoatlus, about taller than my house. Pretty big people. There's a blue whale, the largest animal ever, next to my house, next to my car, next to the giants, next to the Bruhalchiosaurus, the largest dinosaur ever. So there's the Bruhalchiosaurus next to a human being, or next to a blue whale, or next to my house, next to an elephant, much larger than an elephant. So, now 1 kilometer. All the way across the screen is 1 kilometer. So, well, actually a little bit more than across the screen, but okay. So, the lowest medium frequency radio wavelength, MF or AM, AM is larger than FM, is about 1 kilometer across. That's why you can detect AM where you cannot detect FM. Or RFID. So theta, brainwave range. This is the one of the smaller brainwaves, 49 to 85.75 meters across. Young children use this a lot. Drowsiness or arousal in older children and adults. It's idling brain waves. Kind of when you're beginning to go to sleep. And then delta are even bigger, and those are 85.75 to 343 meters long. And it's when your adults are slow wave sleep. So babies think in this, or when you're sleeping, you're thinking in this. So your brain waves get really big. They get from this big until this big. So that's how we can connect to each other mentally in dreams, because our brain waves get as big as AM brain waves, connecting with each other. Okay. So now we're talking about different ocean depths. This blue beam right here, this blue area, in comparison to, say, the Knox Nevis, or how about here? Here's the Boulder High School track. Here's a normal track. This is a 1/4 mile across, 1/4 mile around. From here to here is 100 meters. Here's a track. This blue area, about 100 meters. It's actually 200 meters. It's called the epipelagic zone, and it's up to 200 meters in ocean depth. And that's where you can see twilight. You can actually see sunlight all the way down the depth of, all the way across your track and field track area, 200 meters. Tuna live in this area until 200 meters. Many sharks live until that depth. Dolphins live until that depth. Normal fish that we think of as fish live until about that depth. And jellyfish, that's what fish live in. They live about this depth, the length of a track, or this much compared to the Sears Tower, the World Trade Center, and the Kuala Lumpur Tower on the left there. You know, about 1/3 of the way down, those big super skyscrapers is the zone that fish live in. Here's asteroid Apophis. Now this is 1 kilometer across. Asteroid Apophis, it's going to hit us in 2029. It's on a direct collision course with us. It's actually, in my opinion, just a spaceship. So when this gets here, they're going to be aliens popping out and hanging out with us. And they're planning on arriving then, so beware. There's the size of an Olympic pool. There's the size of a crop circle, 300-foot diameter crop circle. There's the Knox Nevis, the largest ship in the world right now, ocean tanker, next to the Titanic and next to a blue whale. You can see a little blue whale there, swimming next to the Titanic, or the blue whale next to these skyscrapers of the Knox Nevis and the Titanic next to the skyscrapers. This is the size of the Statue of Liberty next to the skyscrapers. Or the Statue of Liberty next to the largest redwood tree up there in Oregon, the largest trees in the world. There's our house that I grew up in. There's the pyramid. So the pyramid's taller than the Statue of Liberty, but not as nearly as tall as the skyscrapers. There's the largest plains ever. The one with the green, puke green, is Spruce Goose. And then the one here, more streamlined, is like, say, 747. Then you have some other of the big plains there. So those are the biggest plains. There's the largest dinosaur. You can see the largest dinosaur ever right there. There's the giant of the Bible or whatever, standing there. You can barely see him. And there's the largest of the pterodactyls next to my car, actually, or a normal car. That's how big a car is next to the pyramid. Okay. So now we're 10 kilometers across. 10 kilometers across. The smallest but look, we're out of time. So we'll start 10 kilometers on the next video.